Mark out Mania. Mark out Mania. Saturday morning and marking out on Mark out Mania. I should have turned on the camera for that.
Yeah, you should.
I had the guitar up and all this stuff. I'm all like, Mark out Mania.
Oh my God.
Mark out Mania. We go a little faster. Saturday morning and we're marking out on Mark out Mania.
Yeah, there you go.
Hola, amigos. I'm Pedro Boyquedero, and this is Mark Out Mania.
The bootleg version.
The bootleg version, because they got rid of the video editor. I have to get this new thing, and I got to learn a whole new software to make the videos. With us, as always, is the extreme James, aka Jim House, aka Mr. Cruz. Sorno, how are you?
I am doing good, my friend. I am doing good, Pedro. Glad to be back. Good to be back. I have some news at the end of the show, but I'll be disappearing for another couple of weeks. But more on that later. Yeah, but you got to catch me up on all things wrestling. I haven't seen anything. I was on a cruise. I was sipping on Blue Hawaiians. So you got to tell me about James, All In.
James, you missed your chance. You missed your opening to say you got to catch me up on everything in wrestling.
Everything wrestling. Yeah, there you go.
Well, hey, before we get to any of that junk, Zeus King Dark is joining us later. So if you're wondering where he is, he's not here
in
yet.
the middle. He's in the middle of being the Road Warrior scholar. So there you go.
Let me grab the link off YouTube real fast. I did not promote this at all, as we know. I did not promote. I don't know why I said promote, but I did not
throw it up there so people know we're on there.
Promote. Wrestling.
So tell me, school me. Go ahead.
School you. I can't school you on anything. No one listens to me anyways. Like, how can I school anyone?
Tell me about the wonderful thing that was AEW and the biggest wrestling show in the history of the wrestling and the history of the planet.
You know, it's interesting, isn't it? They have this record attendance, right? So they
have like over 80,000.
It's like 81,000 or something like that. They had like 81,000 the people there.
Legit 81,000 or like WWE?
That's what they're saying. They're saying legitimately 81,000. The Meltzer and all of them are saying no, this is the legit number.
Okay.
Now, some people are comparing visually the crowds to say the crowds at some of the boxing events, some of the football events to some of this, and they're saying, well, it doesn't really match certain things. Who knows? I mean, we're just going to take them at their word for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying over 81,000. We'll just take it, at their word. So they have this record attendance, and they have this show, and no one's talking about the show. Like, none of the headlines have been about the show, about them setting this record attendance. Now the talent has been trying to put it out there, like, oh, we did this, we did this historic thing, we're the biggest this and this ever, blah blah blah. But people are still not talking about the headlines. Like, there was no news headlines for something like this. You would expect to see news headlines, right?
Right. Yeah.
I'm not talking about wrestling news. I'm talking about just real news. You would think there would be like actual news headlines about this, but there's nothing.
like wrestling promotion that sets new indoor or outdoor record or whatever. Right.
You're not seeing any of this. The only thing people are talking about off of this show is CM Punk issues again. That's the only thing.
Oh yeah, you gotta tell me what happened.
So in the pre-show, which was terrible, I did watch the pre-show.
It was horrible.
They had the pre-show. They had a Ring of Honor tag match. It was MJF and Adam Cole versus Australian Open or whatever.
Aussie Open. Now, before you go any further, Don't you think by MJF and Adam Cole winning theirs actually devalues the Ring of Honor straps?
I mean, it doesn't matter. The Ring of Honor is like a dead brand, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I'm not like, I don't want you to think I'm taking away from what your point. I'm just saying
No. I just thought
it's
like,
a dead promotion. Like, what does it
why
matter
would
what
you put
anything is
that
done
belt
with
on
it?
Adam Cole and MJF? Do they need that? No, they don't need
No,
it.
like it doesn't make any. It didn't make any sense to have that match. First off, it did not make any sense. For the first thing that crowd to see is the main event people. That makes no sense.
Right.
They're going to close the
I agree
show.
with that. I
Open the
definitely
show.
agree.
That makes no sense. You ruined that pop. You
Right.
ruined
Absolutely.
that. And speaking of pop, they had an angle happen before that match, and it involved, I want to say, who was in the ring? Someone's in the. I don't remember. Jeff Jarrett, maybe it was Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett was in the ring doing something or another. Big Show came out with someone else and with Grado. Do you remember Grado from TNA?
Yeah. Wow. So there.
So Grado is a big star in England. Okay, people may not think much of him as a wrestler in terms of a worker or something, but he's a big star in England. And do you remember when they tried to revive World of Sport a few years ago?
Yeah.
He was like the main star of that revival, World of Sport, blah blah blah. And one of the big things with him is when he comes out to Madonna's Like a Prayer, and crowds love it. Like, if you've never seen the English crowds reacting to Grado coming out with Like a Prayer, it's like something to watch, just to see the entrance and the reaction. So the Big Show comes out with, I can't remember who else is there, and Grado. And Grado's just tagging along. He's never been in AEW before, never done anything. This is first, and as far as we know to this moment, his only appearance in AEW. But they come out to Big Show's music. Grado's just following behind him. You don't get this huge pop, right? You don't get this huge pop. Grado is there. And they go to the ring, they do whatever they do, and then they leave to Big Show's entrance as well. And it was like, it was weird, because it's like, if you're playing to that crowd in England, he would have his
own entrance. Right.
Yeah. And he shouldn't just be like a part of Big Show's entourage. Why is a 7-foot Big Show need an entourage to go face Jeff Jarrett, like, in the first place?
Exactly. Jeff Jarrett's barely alive. Exactly.
But of course, Big Show can't move either.
No, that's true. Yeah,
that's true. I didn't think about that. Big Show can't move either, but it's just weird. Like why? Like it to me, it was like, it struck me like they're being like, well, the crowd at home isn't going to know who Grado is, so let's just have him tag along. He'll get that hometown pop just being along. But he didn't get the pop because there's no focus on him, right?
Right.
You put no spotlight on him. He's just tagging along. He's trailing behind you. Like, the whole thing makes no sense. Like, if you have the guy show up, even if the people in the United States aren't immediately familiar with him, if they never watched TNA, they didn't see him in TNA or blah blah blah, they'll see this guy come out to this huge, like, whoa, look at this reaction he's getting.
Yeah, right.
Who is this guy? What's the big deal with this chubby, not very athletic looking dude getting this reaction?
Not athletic at all. Yeah.
But I mean, you don't get any of these questions or anything. Right. People just like, it just seems
like it was thrown together last minute, what you're trying to say.
Or just like the thought process was like, well, they're thinking about the people watching it on pay-per-view at home.
Right.
And it's like, but you need to play to that crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you thought enough,
that's the whole point. 81,000 plus.
Yeah, you thought enough to have Grado try to help Big Show's pop. Like, you thought enough to add him on there to be like, well, let's add him on there to help Big Show's pop. Well, but then that didn't really happen, because the way it was handled. Like the whole, it's just weird thought process to me. Which you can go with a lot of the booking on this show. You just be like, this is a weird thought process.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so you have that. Then you have the Ring of Honor tag match, and the first pop of MJF and Cole is to this pre-show match, which is a nothing match. They go out there, they rush through some spots, and they hit their stupid double clothesline, and it's over. Like, it was super short. It had to be less than 7 or 8 minutes long. I don't know
really?
how long.
That's short?
Really short. It was really short.
Wow,
to me.
you just bury Aussie Open like that?
It was a short match. There was nothing to it. Like, to me, you can't even give it a. You couldn't, if you said, what rating would you give that match? It'd be like, nothing. There's nothing to give. There's so little to the match. It's just, they just went out there, scrambled through some stuff, and then it's over. And they won. Yeah, you're right. They won the tag titles. You've buried Aussie Open.
Yeah.
You've, how did this add to the main event? I don't know.
I mean, it's not like,
it's continuing their friendship story, okay, but
right. I'm all in favor of continuing the friendship story, but does like Adam Cole and MJF actually need their Ring of Honor straps? No, and you just devalue the straps by taking it off Aussie Open.
And you don't need them to hold a tag team title for them to remain friends.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So you just totally devalue the straps.
Doesn't the story of them being friends, even though they go to battle for the world title later, like they go to war over the world title and they still remain friends even after that? Like, doesn't that story work better if they don't have a championship commitment like hanging over them, holding it together?
Yeah, absolutely right. It does. Mm-hmm.
Like, doesn't that mean more like the friendship actually overcomes whatever is going on? Like, if there's, because someone can say, well, I stayed friends because we got tag team titles. Like, we got a kid. That's why we stayed married. We got some kids. We stayed married.
Yeah, we got 17 kids. We can't afford a divorce. Right. Gotcha. Yeah.
It's like that in a way. Like, we got a championship.
I can't afford not to be his friend. He's one half of the tag team champ. Yeah, so I'm not gonna stay with him. Yeah,
I guess.
I hate the bastard, but you know what? He carries the gold with me. So it's something stupid.
Carries the gold with me. That makes it sound like they're lovers or something. He carries the gold. I hate him. I hate the bastard, but he carries the gold with me.
Bring back the golden lovers.
Oh yeah, we'll get to the golden shower lovers later. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize. All
right, so what's going on with CM Punk now?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got all derailed there. I apologize. So then you have Jack Perry versus Hook for the FTW title. So of course it's a stupid match. They just do a bunch of stunt spots and it's nothing. I mean, like, James, referee Aubrey was in this match, okay? Okay, referee Aubrey was bigger than both Hook and Jack Perry.
The queen of the stable, horse stable, that is.
Queen of the stable. The queen of the stables.
Why the long face? Huh?
Why the long face? Because it's the queen of the stables.
It's the queen of the stables.
We're gonna get in so much. We're lucky no one watches us. We're getting in so much trouble. But
all right, so go ahead. Watch Aubrey's bigger than both of them.
Watch the pre-show, and you're gonna be like, Aubrey is Hey, Brian Bell, he is here to mark out and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum. Brian
Bell, what's going on, buddy?
You missed us making a lot of horse references. Referee Aubrey is literally larger than both Jack Perry and Hook. So you've got these two teenage-looking guys. They're both pretty boys. You got these two pretty boy, teenage-looking guys. They're both scrawny, and they're quote-unquote brawling, James. So imagine if you were watching like some junior high kids, like two skinny junior high boys, like brawling with each other. That's what it looked like. So they're trying to do these dumb spots and stuff.
And Aubrey's the principal?
Oh yeah, Aubrey's the referee. Aubrey's the principal.
A principal sound.
Which when she was making the pin counts in this match, I made a comment in our Markout Mania chat during it, but I know you were on cruise, so you didn't see this. But she was making the counts like someone was like railing her from behind, like she was doing it like like the expression she was making was like that, like like she's being pounded from behind. It was like I was like. Why was this the choice she made for these these pin counts? I couldn't believe it.
Somebody was stroking a horsehair tail. What? Oh my god!
Brian Bell said the Aubrey visuals need to go away.
Yeah.
So they did a spot.
81,000 was there to see Aubrey.
They did a spot where they suplex into glass, the windshield of a limo. Mm-hmm. And Jack Perry turns to the camera and he says something about, "That's real glass, cry me a river."
Uh-oh.
And so have you heard the stories about CM Punk and Jack Perry leading up to this?
No, I haven't. I was on a cruise. I didn't hear shit.
Okay,
I didn't hear anything.
Well, this story has been around about 2 weeks or so before the pay-per-view, so I didn't know if you'd heard about it before. But
I heard something about a segment that you want to.
Jack Perry wanted to do a segment on Collision where he was going to get put through like real glass,
right?
And CM Punk ixnayed it for Collision. He wouldn't let it happen on Collision, so they had heat with each other. So Jack Perry on this pre-show
is fucking CM Punk executive producer of Collision all of a sudden.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay,
we'll get to that in a minute in a way, but this thing. So he goes through the windshield, not through the windshield, but he falls on the windshield. He's cut. He's bleeding. He says, "That's real glass. Cry me a river." Blah blah blah. He says it into the camera. He specifically wants one person to definitely know this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they have their match. Hook wins the stupid title back, whatever. Apparently, Jack Perry goes back, and when
Aubrey doesn't get mounted in the ring. Go ahead.
Yeah, Aubrey doesn't get mounted. No one rides her off into the Hook doesn't get on her back and ride her off into the thing like a.
I'm watching the count, baby. 1, 2, 3.
Oh my god, I'm watching the count, baby. We're like count writing it, the baby. AEW porno now. I'm watching the count, baby.
Count it, baby.
Oh,
fuck me in that striped shirt.
Zeus is gonna watch back to this. He's gonna be like, "What the fuck happened?"
This is like I leave for 20 minutes, I come back and it's off the rails.
It's off the rails. It's off the rails. Aubrey's getting railed on the Markout show.
Wear those referee speedos, baby. Love those stripes.
Brian Bell said Omega comes out. Hey, wasn't I invited to the slap party? The slap party.
Omega had to take 19 steps before he mounted her. Go ahead.
No. He does the trigger point thing, James. He does the trigger point thing to her backside. And he's like, bang, bang.
And then he runs in place for 19 steps. Yeah. He runs in place in 19 steps and still not hitting it. He's going, where are you? Where are you?
Oh my God, imagine the Kenny Omega character in this AEW porno. To do the when he penetrates, he does like he makes it look like the V trigger.
Oh my God.
Oh, this is the worst. This is the episode we get canceled over. This is
yeah.
So Jack Perry goes backstage, James, and CM Punk. I guess they walk. I don't know if they walk up to each. There's different reports. They walk up to each other, or CM Punk walks up to him. He's like, "You got a problem with me?" And Jack Perry's like, "No, you you heard what I said, right?" And then apparently things escalate, and CM Punk either he shoved CM Punk or CM Punk shoved him. One of the two things happened. And then there's some kind of shoving goes on between them, and then CM Punk puts him in a front face lock, like a little chokehold thing, and then it gets broken up. And apparently, some monitors may or may not have fallen on top of Tony Khan because he was right there with the whole thing was happening. And apparently, there's video footage of the incident. It hasn't been released yet, but the Wembley has a video cameras all over. So there's apparently video footage of the incident.
I don't know whose fault it is. I don't know who started what or who said what or who did this or who did that. But it's become obvious that CM Punk, everywhere he goes, it's become a detriment to a locker room. When is he going to learn that it's not about him anymore?
Well, so apparently, yeah, he got it. So
you're talking about narcissism, Jesus.
You have this incident happened, right, with CM Punk and Jack Perry right in front of Tony Khan and all these other. There's like tons of witnesses apparently.
His coke bag fell.
Yeah, his coke bag fell.
Be Brian Blair.
And then CM Punk is yelling at Tony Khan. Apparently, he threatened to quit or blah 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 and all this stuff. And then it looked like he wasn't going to do the opening match was supposed to be CM Punk and Samoa Joe, and then it looked like he wasn't going to do it. Samoa Joe had to calm him down and talk him into doing the opening match. For a little bit, the 6-man match, the Golden Lovers and I can't remember who else is with them, which that is their tag team name for anyone.
Yeah, no, the Golden Lovers, they're the old school, also New Japan.
Yeah, well, it's from originally from DDT, but then New Japan,
from DDT, right?
But that match, the Elite versus Bullet Club Gold and Takashita was apparently maybe going to go first if this match wasn't going to happen after all. But they Samoa Joe stepped up and got everything calmed down, and Samoa Joe and CM Punk opened the show. So, but yeah, you had this historic attendance. They broke all these records, James. Historic attendance. And no one's talking about the attendance. No one's talking about some fans are talking about the matches, but not really. Everyone's wanting to know what's about the Punk thing, the fallout. They're Punk and Perry are both suspended, apparently. People were like, are they still? Is Punk still going to be on All Out? And it's looking like he's not going to be in All Out, of course, because he's suspended. And everyone
All Out's in Chicago, right?
Yeah, the Dynamite was in Chicago. All Out is in Chicago. Like they booked all these things for Chicago, and there's no Punk there. Yeah, so everyone is just talking about the Punk drama, and it's crazy, James. Why did they give this guy so much power?
I don't know, Pedro. I've said it a long time ago. Punk is he's a magnet for controversy, and he's a classic narcissist. Because it has to be all about him. And instead of making it about the 81,000 who are there, who you guys are setting records, he made it about himself. That's not the time and place to say anything. You wait till after the show is over, after everything's done, after you go up the air, after shit is calmed down, then you go up to him and say, yo,
no,
you don't do it before the shit starts. You don't make it about yourself then.
James, why does he care about Jack Perry going through glass?
Because he has to make it about himself, Pedro. He's a narcissist. I told him don't do it, but he did it anyway. So now no, because I said so. Because now hold on. Is he executive vice president or something?
Well, no. Okay, see, this is what I'm getting at. So he kept it. He kept it off his Saturday show, Collision.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
He kept the glass thing off the Saturday show.
That's when Perry wanted to do it, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So now, why is CM Punk basically in charge of the Saturday show? Like, from my understanding, him and Danielson basically run the Saturday show. Why is CM Punk in this position? Like, why is this a thing that's happening? Like, because one of the controversies to this was all the people that Punk has been banning from being on Collision. And one of them was like Christopher Daniels, who's the head of talent relations. Christopher Daniels, the head of talent relations, is banned from Collision apparently. So
I'm so
like,
over Punk. He's
how can you ban the head of talent relations, James, on
uh,
a show, a
I guess
company
Tony
show?
Khan gave him that executive. I guess he has I guess he has a carte blanche to run that show as he sees fits.
Okay,
Um,
so let's accept
maybe that's part of his deal, but still, he shouldn't be banning any talent from any show.
Okay, look, so let's accept that CM Punk is in charge of Saturdays. He's in charge. He's
Okay,
the head of Collision. Let's just say this is
right.
a thing. We won't debate
He's
if he should be or shouldn't be.
right,
It's
right,
just it's an is right. He's in
right.
charge of Saturday. Okay,
Okay.
he kept the glass spot off of his show. Okay, he didn't want it on his show. He kept it off his show. If Jack Perry wants to do whatever stupid thing on the All Out or All In or whatever, well, what does it matter to Punk? He kept it off his show.
Exactly. You're absolutely
Like
right.
like Jack Perry made some stupid comment, cry me a river, blah blah blah. Okay, it's Jack Perry. He's nobody. He's not
Right.
the number one merch seller for AEW. He's not the
And
best.
and,
He doesn't have
and
his
if,
own.
right, right, no, Pedro, you're absolutely right. And if anyone understands anybody dropping comments and going rogue, it's CM Punk.
Right. I mean, it just makes no sense. Like, why does he care? Like, why does he care? Is it, to me, it's less about, so many people are focused on who was right or wrong in the instance. And going back to last year, the stuff like, yes, maybe there's all this proof the Elite were stirring up shit in the dirt sheets to get under his skin, but why are they able to do this? Like, why is he so easily got by comments? Like, that's the issue here. Like,
Yeah.
regardless of who is at fault, this wasn't the place to do this, and it wasn't his show. It wasn't his
Right,
Saturday show.
exactly.
Like,
I agree with you wholeheartedly. So you said this was not the place to do this. And yes, Brian Bell, I fired them both too. I would fire them both. I said, you know what? Enough of this bullshit. Bye.
yeah,
Because that Saturday, All In, it was supposed to be about AEW as a company. Whether you and I like them or not, or you because it sucks, whatever. But regardless, it was about the company and they setting a world record. Okay, that's what it was supposed to be about. It was supposed to be about Punk or Perry or people backstage bitching and moaning, or so-called EVPs that fucking not getting their way. It's not supposed to be about any of that. It was supposed to be about going out there and delivering the best show you can to a record-breaking crowd. That's what it was supposed to be about.
yeah.
That's it.
I mean,
That's it.
it's just dumb. Like, apparently, so more backstory to all this I forgot about. Apparently, Punk, all the talent went on one plane ride except for Punk. Punk went on a completely separate plane ride to
Of
England.
course he did.
And he said it was because he had this commitment, and then he wanted to spend like this day with his wife and his dog and all this stuff before he was going to go. So he went a day later, blah, blah, blah. And apparently when he arrived, they didn't have a transportation to pick him up. Like, there were supposed to be people to pick him up, and they weren't there. And he ended up having to take a train to get to Wembley. And so some people are saying like, oh, look how bad they treated him, blah, blah, blah. I mean, why is he not going with the rest of the crew on the same flight? Like, the whole thing, like, when you set yourself apart, you're setting yourself up as a target for Game of Thrones bullshit, like games to be going on. Like, so let's hypothetically, let's play up to the sort of the Punk fans and stuff for a moment here. Okay, so they're saying, the Elite are doing this, they're doing that, they're doing basically psyops or whatever to get this under this guy's skin. It's like, but he is so soft or whatever that he's allowing himself to be able to be in this position. He's putting himself aside from everyone else, that he's creating himself as a target for these things to happen.
Mm.
I don't know. It's just
No,
and
it makes sense. It makes sense because he is setting himself up as a target. He is.
now
When you alienate yourself, you're leaving the door wide open for people to start with you.
now
He's better than us. I thought he came back and he was going to be different. It's all about the team. We're all going to Wembley.
James, he's the best in the world.
Oh,
Um Now we're talking about Punk, we're talking about Jack Perry, we're talking about the Elite, blah blah blah, right? The real person to blame, the real blame in all of this is none of them. I'm
yeah, no,
gonna
it's
say
Tony
why.
Khan.
It's Tony Khan. Yeah, it's Tony Khan.
Yeah,
Look,
because he allows this to happen.
he's got his management style is just shit. He wants to be friends with the people he wants to be friends with.
He wants to be Eric Bischoff 2.0.
I mean, it just doesn't work that way. Like people are like, oh, he never puts the he never lays the law down for people. Well,
If Eric
uh,
Bischoff did cocaine, you get Tony Khan.
um, do you remember the Andrade Sammy Guevara situation?
Yeah, okay.
Andrade wanted to fight Sammy Guevara, and Tony Khan warned him, even if you attack him physically, I will not let you out of your contract. And Andrade did it anyways.
Mhm.
And instead of letting him out of his contract or anything like that, he just sat him home for almost a year, right? He sat
Yep.
him home for like months and months and months and months and months.
Wasn't it like 9 months, 10 months, something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So nearly a year. Um, and so there's a case of him laying the law down. Jimmy Havoc, if people remember him from the early days of AEW, he got drunk, started this mess with
Fucking
Excalibur.
Jimmy Havoc sucked. He sucked when he was in
Oh
TNA.
yeah,
He sucks.
he had to go do rehab. Then the Me Too stuff came up with him, and then he was
Hmm.
let go.
Hmm.
You got the stuff. Remember Big Swole? Remember
Yeah.
that whole mess with Big Swole, where they're basically
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, we're sad to see her go, and then she was like,
Yeah.
this company was kind of racist to me. And then they're like, she sucked. She,
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
was neither
Yeah.
good. That's
Yeah.
why
I
we let her
remember
go.
that.
She
Yeah.
sucked. So there are definitely instances of Tony Khan laying the law down on people, but not his friend, like not the big people, right? There are certain people who just get to do what they want. And it's just poor management. His style of management is just crazy. That's what's caused all these issues. Why does Punk have his own show?
He has to
Why
learn how to he has to learn how to manage these egos, and he doesn't know how to manage the big egos. He doesn't know
when
because he
Punk
lets
was
them get away with all kinds of shit.
when Punk was coming back, him and the Elite should have been doing business together. That's the one story
That was built in. You had it. How many times
you
we
have
talked
to
about this,
do it.
Pedro? It was
A bunch
right
of
there in
times.
front of you. Yeah, it was right there in front of you.
And the fact that business didn't happen is all down to this guy not able to make everyone see business in the end, right? He's not able to be like, hey, this is what we're doing. And if Tony Khan isn't that kind of person, and look, I know from before AEW existed, I know from the stuff from Fulham, Tony Khan is not the kind of person to be running anything very well. But
Well,
if he's not that kind of person, James, he needs to get someone who can be that person.
I absolutely agree, and it's all be and everybody needs to take a step back and stop being petty as well. Okay, all right. Let me just give you a quick example. WWE's came out with the NFL belts, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you like all 28, all the NFL teams got the WWE style belt now, right?
Okay.
Except Jacksonville.
Oh, really? I didn't know
They
that.
had it. They had it out, and then they pulled it off the shelf.
Oh,
They
wow.
were saying it was "quote unquote" sold out. So it's a lot of petty bullshit. It's all pettiness. It starts with the guys at the top. I'm sure Either Tony Khan or somebody said, I don't want a WWE logo on my company because Jacksonville Jaguars, you know?
Right.
And it's all good. It's all pettiness, and it all starts at the top. And people need to put their bullshit aside. But people need to take. People need you got to have a person who can handle challenge. Like as much as I can't stand them, but almost like a Vince McMahon. Get in their face, say, "Look, I write the fucking checks. You work for me. This is what you're gonna do because I said so. And if you don't like it, there's the fucking door."
But you know, WWE has had a number of people, not just Vince McMahon. You've had John Laurinaitis, you had Jim
Yeah.
Ross, you had a number of other people who filled that role who were like, "Hey, this is what we're doing today. Like, no, this is what's happening."
Oh, B. Brian Blair. Yeah, I totally agree, man. The buzz has to all unapologetic.
But
Absolutely,
that's look
absolutely.
the stuff about Punk, the Elite, and Jack Perry, all that stuff. That it's like think of it like at school. It's the students being, you know, whatever rowdy, right? The students having issues, internal issues. It's up to the teacher, the professor, whatever, to be like, hey, we're gonna have order here, and this is how the class is gonna go. Like, well, where's that person? Like, if Tony can't be that, if TK can't be that person, he needs
Yeah.
someone who can be that person, who can come in and be like, okay, like if it's like we need to fire this person, but we need to fire this person, but like I don't want to not be friends with him. I don't want to come off as a bad guy. Oh my god, sniff, 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 cocaine. Oh, what do I do? And he needs someone who can be like, okay, I'll take care of this for you.
Yeah.
Hey, you're fired.
No, I agree.
They need someone who will be that guy. If
Yeah.
he can't be that person, they need someone who can be that person. I keep seeing everyone saying, Tony needs to do this. He needs to do that. Well, what if he just isn't that person? Well, he needs
Right.
to get
Hire
someone who
somebody.
can.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like
So
hire Laurinaitis, hire
I mean,
Bruce Pritchard, hire somebody along those veins, the lines who can right the ship with all these egos.
CM Punk is fighting. Yeah, I mean the elite are EVPs or whatever. It's a weird position. They should never be in that position.
Right. Yeah. I fire
But
everybody. Fuck them.
But I mean, the rest of the show, everything I saw, James, I just saw highlights and clips and stuff. I watched the women's match. To me, it was atrocious. It's a terrible match. The no flow, no rhythm, no like smoothness. Botches, of course, but I mean, botches almost is beginning to a point. It's just part of the show, right? People are going to be disappointed if there aren't botches. I start to think with all these wrestling shows. So botches are just part of the modern style now. It's almost like the jackass element, isn't it? Of wrestling now is like people want to see that, you know, turn, like moment to happen something. But the finish with that women's match was so dumb. Like that the pin is happening and these other people are going for a submission right next to it, not across the ring, not outside the ring, right next to them. They're like just inches from each other. They're just right next to each other, and you don't even try to get out of the hold. Like Britt Baker's not trying to release the hold to break up this pinfall. She's just like, I'm going to go for the submission. I don't care a pinfall is happening right next to me, where I could just very easily kick at them or do this and that and break it up like nothing. Like
you can actually break up their pinfall, right?
I mean, at least try to at least go through the pantomime of like you're trying to untangle out of this hold. At least then it tells what's happening, right? Like, oh no, this thing is happening. Instead of being like, I'm going for the submission. I'm so engrossed in this, I don't even notice a pinfall right next to me. Like we're laying in bed together and they're right next to me going for a pinfall, but I don't notice. Like, come on. The lots of botches left and right. That Jericho Ospreay match, I know a lot of people are praising it, but all I've seen is just endless botches from that show. Jericho.
How was that MJF Adam Cole match?
I didn't see it. I mean, I have issues with how they finished it. I have issues with the booking of it. Did you hear what they did?
I heard it went into like a sudden death overtime, some bullshit like that.
They had a double pin.
Okay.
And then they restarted the match, and then a roll-up finish. And then followed by hugging and all that stuff.
Well, they got to keep they got to keep the best friend story going.
So, do you recall Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant from WrestleMania 3?
Hmm.
Wasn't that pretty straightforward?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people praise that match, but it wasn't really a good match if you look at it.
Is a good match in terms of it's easy to
It's
follow.
straightforward booking. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yeah.
it's the biggest show. Like at WrestleMania 3 is like the biggest show WWF has at this point, right? At that
Mm,
point in time. At that point in time, it's like the biggest show in the world.
ever.
Almost,
Right,
like, and this is the biggest main event anyone could have possibly put on, kind of, in a way. Even though it happened in the past, it didn't happen under these circumstances. Hulk
right,
Hogan was
right,
Hulk Hogan, right?
right,
At this
right.
point.
He was just the heel Irish guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like the biggest main event that could possibly be put on the world, the biggest show in the world at that point in time. And when you have an audience that big and a moment that big, it has to be something easy to digest and process and consume. So the result like reverberates across the audience, right?
Right.
So you have a record attendance. This is the record biggest attendance, blah, blah, blah. Your Wembley Stadium, and you just doing the same bullshit you would do like if it was on any pay-per-view or if it was on a Dynamite or whatever. It's just the same stuff. It's just a bunch of convoluted, stupid shit.
Yeah. You saved. Well, I agree with Brian Bell here. You save the convoluted shit up for your TV shows, and you make it simple for the big shows, the pay per view. I totally agree, Pedro. You're absolutely right. Don't overbook it. Don't. It has to reverberate with the crowd. Everyone has to be on sync at the same time. You can't be looking around going, what? Remember the triple threat match over WrestleMania with Ronda Rousey, fucking
Yeah, Becky
Becky
Lynch.
Lynch. Right. Everybody's looking around going, what?
That's a good point. Yeah, that's
You
good
know,
reference.
yeah. You can't have that. Cause it has to be, easy. 1, 2, 3, clean. Everybody gets the point. Everybody raises their hands. Either you cheer or you boo. That's it. I totally agree with both you
Look,
and Brian Blair.
you have just a straightforward match. It's a hard fought match, and MJF wins from a small package. You don't do a double pin. You
Right.
don't do a restart. You have a hard fought match. The MJF wins through a pin. I mean, it can be either a clean pin or it can be a small package. That's fine. I mean, it's the biggest finisher in wrestling history when one thinks about it. It's the small package.
Yeah.
So I mean that's fine, and then you do your post match thing of like, are they going to still be friends, not be friends, and they're still friends. Brian Bell's right here. They get too cute. Yeah, everything.
Yeah. Everything is
overproduced,
overdone.
He said this is why people are unhappy with SummerSlam. They got too cute. Yeah, and
yeah. It's well. Doesn't WWE have a pay per view tonight?
Oh yeah. We'll look that up in a minute. But something. So that this Wembley, all in record attendance. Everyone's talking about CM Punk. No one's talking about the show. No one's talking about what they did, the history they made, blah blah blah, this and that. No one's talking about the matches. They're just talking about CM Punk. Is he going to be suspended? What's the fallout? Blah blah blah. Is this video footage going to be released? Blah blah blah. All this bullshit.
Again, it's all about Punk. You notice?
Do you recall? Do you recall Clash at the Castle from Cardiff?
Yes. That's where fucking beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, Sheamus and Gunther. Yeah.
Right.
So when that show was over, people were talking about the crowd because the crowd was so awesome. They're talking about Sheamus versus Gunther, and they're talking about Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. And there was a discussion until the WrestleMania stuff with Cody and Roman. Everyone, really until the Sami Zayn Roman Reigns stuff, just before that, everyone was talking for a long ass time. Like, should they or shouldn't they have pulled the trigger at Clash at the Castle? Should Drew had been the one to end the title reign? People were talking about this forever. Some people liked the match. Some people were just debating that thing. But people were talking about the show. They went to Cardiff. They had this show, and people left talking about the show.
It was actually a good show. Yeah.
Right. People were talking about the show. This is an even bigger show, a bigger crowd. I shouldn't really say a bigger show. It's a bigger crowd, and people aren't talking about the show. They're not talking about the matches. They're talking about CM Punk.
Or the stunt double horse head that was left in the bed in the Godfather movie, Aubrey. She was the stand-in.
She was a stand-in. Was she even been born? It's her mother.
They were related. That's my great grandmother. Here's some hay. Shut up. Okay.
Here's some hay.
But no, but I totally get it. I totally get what you're saying, Pedro. They were talking about the show in Cardiff. They were talking about Sheamus and Gunther and the whole thing with Roman Reigns and the whole thing with Drew McIntyre and the crowd. It was all about the show.
Well,
here, it's nothing about the matches, good or bad, or the 81,000, or fucking Saraya in a home country winning the strap, or the short run that Sheeta had. They're talking about over the hill, narcissistic CM Punk, and fucking never will be Jack Perry.
I mean, and again, that Punk Perry situation, it doesn't even matter who's at fault.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Because the thing is just that it is overshadowed. Again, remember last year at All Out, the Punk stuff with the Elite overshadowed everything. No one talked about the show. They talked about that. Here we are again. It's just, it's Tony's fault. It's Tony Khan's fault, of course, because he's the one who's allowed this to be this way. But it's terrible.
Like Sexy Star, making it all about her.
The Sexy Star situation sucked because they had filmed the season 2 and 3 back to back. Remember, like at the same set of tapings.
Yeah.
So before season 3 came out, she did that press conference where she unmasked herself, told everyone that she's going to win the Lucha Underground Championship in this season coming up. Like she ruined like everything, right?
Everything, yeah.
Like she got rid of the mystique of her mask, so now everyone had to see her without the mask. She
wasn't that sexy.
Well, that's damn it, James.
Damn it, Jim. I'm a doctor now. Okay, yeah.
No, like
but you're absolutely right. She ruined everything. She ruined it.
They were like, can you imagine? They're like all excited, like people are gonna go nuts when they see Sexy Star win this title, and then
she ruined it.
And then everyone else, and then it was like carte blanche. All the spoilers come flooding out of that season after that. Everyone's like, well, fuck it. This is out. Start telling them about everything. People start spilling the tea.
She ruined everything. Yeah. It was all about her.
People found out when that came out, people found out that when they had that match where she won the title, that they brought women out like who weren't part of the show. They brought women out into the front row in specific spots for those camera shots to show women like cheering Sexy Star winning. Like we found out all this back stuff just because of this whole like, oh, so now when you see the episode and you see these women who aren't in any of the other episodes cheering,
they're just cheering. You want to talk about ultimate planets? You want to talk about editing? Boom, right there in your face.
Right. But like, and it just ruins what they were going for. And keep in mind, James, let's not forget. I'm not trying to get into anything political. Okay. This is gonna sound weird. I'm not trying to get into anything political, but they were timing the release of this episode close to the time that the elections were going to happen, where Hillary Clinton was going to be a presidential nominee for.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
They, like, you can see what the people had, like, with the whole timing of how this episode was going to come out, the scheduling and everything. They had this whole plan, like, we're going to play into this thing going on in the country with a woman with the best chance to become president is in the running to be president, right?
Yeah.
They're playing into this thing. They think it's going to feed into this thing. The whole thing gets undone because, a year or whatever, a month ahead, Sexy Star does this thing.
Yeah, it's a Sexy Star fucked everything up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's her fault the election didn't
it's her fault. Damn it.
Damn it. Damn it, Sexy Star.
Damn it, Sexy Star. You took off your mask and you no good.
Man, where's Zeus?
Yeah,
we're like,
I guess
he's gonna be like 20 minutes late, and we're like, oh.
He's doing the Road Warrior Scholar thing. Yo, he'd be Professor X.
Yes, that's true. Professor X, yeah.
He's training the young Padawans. He's training them.
What's the show today? Is it Payback?
I think it's Payback. Yeah.
Payback. Okay.
Payback. I haven't watched any WWE since I came back, so I have no clue what the fuck is going on. I mean, it's not that hard to follow, but.
I'm trying to think what wrestling. I watched 2 wrestling matches. Well, 3 wrestling matches. I watched 3 wrestling matches this week. I watched the women's 4-way from All In. I watched Sari versus Arisa Nakajima from Seedling in the last week or so, and then I watched a match from Sendai Girls. It was Chihiro Hashimoto and Yu versus Saru Anu and Maya Yokihi. But Brian Bell is bringing up there's a new Joshi promotion. Did you see that stuff, James?
No.
So they're
what new Joshi promotion?
It's a promotion here in the United States.
In the States?
Yeah, it's the novelty of it. They're trying to do this thing called Sukeban. So Sukeban in Japanese.
Oh, it's gonna be like WoW?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like WoW or Lucha Underground, something like that. It's like they're taking these freelance stars from Japan and they're giving them all these crazy gimmicks, like they're a bunch of schoolgirl gangs. So how like this is a genre that was popular in Japan in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, in the 80s,
schoolgirl gangs, like having TV shows and stuff and movies. So they're giving them that sort of gimmick, like they're these sort of anime school gang looking things, and they're like gonna wrestle each other. So yeah, something called Sukeban. I was all excited yesterday. I was watching the thing. It's gonna be just like something totally stupid and cartoony. But if it's if it's some WoW Lucha Underground version of Joshi,
I picture like a version of WoW, but all Joshi.
Yeah, I'll send you the trailer because I put it in.
Yeah. Please. Yeah.
Let me see.
Because I watched WoW the other day for the first time. I was like, because I wasn't able to go to sleep, and then boom, it came on at about midnight, and I was like, oh shit, it's WoW.
What is WoW like now, James? I haven't seen it.
It looks the same. It's just with totally different people, but it looks the same. It's the same way. The same matches are all the same. It's the same. Heel versus babyface, that there are no, nothing over the top or in betweeners, or like the crowd still boos and the little kids are booing, and it's the same shit. It's just with different people.
Is Angie still in the crowd? Because Angie was in a number of episodes. Angie was in the crowd in a number of episodes.
Angie spent like a whole season and a half in the crowd. I don't know, but Angie and the Popcorn Girl were the first name bases. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
I put that trailer in the Markout Mania chat.
Oh, all right, cool. Thanks, man. But I mean, if it's something like WoW, I mean, I'll be down to watch.
My big question, James, about WoW now. Do they still give as little time as possible to the main events?
You got 1 minute and 18 seconds. Go. I don't know. I don't know. Probably do.
Isn't it weird that over time that became almost endearing? Like
Yeah, it
it
worked.
became part of the joke. Like
Yeah,
how little time you wanted
how
to see
little
how little
time.
time they're gonna give the main event.
It was like a drinking game.
Yeah,
They'll give the min. I'll say 2 minutes. Up under 2 minutes, you got to drink. It became a drinking game because they gave it no time
uh,
whatsoever.
they would give like an undercard match like 12 minutes sometimes, and then it'd be
Yeah,
like
yeah,
there's literally 3 minutes for this main event to happen.
and it's
Entrances and everything. Like what?
yeah, exactly. Entrance and everything, and the credits rolling. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like 3 minutes. Stops. Go.
But yeah, watch the trailer later.
Okay.
I got really excited for it. I don't know why. I can tell you who the
Where's this
wrestlers are.
promotion based out of?
Well, we don't know what it's going to be. Right now, they're just promoting a show in New York on September
Okay.
21st. They're having a show in New York.
Oh, well, that's one thing I want to talk to you guys about. I'll be in New York on September 21st.
Whoa, well, I would say go to this show, but it's sold out in 2 hours.
Really? Sold out?
Sold out in 2 hours. They announced it yesterday morning and then immediately sold out.
Really? Because I'll be in New York I'm leaving on the 12th. I got to. I have because I'm doing 3 birds with 1 stone. It's business, personal, and pleasure. So so I got to go. I figure I wrap it all up in one trip.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because I got to go see a heart specialist.
Oh, okay.
Because like I have to see a surgeon who specializes in operating on hearts that are covering scars, because I have a lot of scar tissue on my heart.
Yeah.
So I got to go see that. So, and my ex-wife is getting some stuff done with the house, so I got to meet up with her, sign some papers. And I figure, so that's 2 things down. So I figured the third one, I might as well there. I might as well do a New York thing when I'm there. So I just make one big trip out of it.
But when James visits the ex-wife.
Well, no, I'm friends with my ex-wife, so it's no big deal,
Yeah.
So it's all good.
We know what kind of friends you are with the ex-wife, James. James, like we're playing AEW tonight, baby.
I'm gonna ball drive you into the kitchen.
You're Aubrey tonight.
You're Aubrey tonight. I whip my hair back and forth.
Everyone says my refereeing sucks. Well, you're gonna suck tonight.
I dare you to count to 3 with your mouth full.
Oh God. Hughes is gonna be horrified by this episode. This is gonna be horrified. Real quickly, let me tell you some of the people involved in this promotion.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So there's someone named Atomic Banshee. She is being played by Ram Kachow. These are, I'm telling you the gimmicks. Like, so the gimmick is Atomic Banshee, but she's being played by Ram Kachow. Otaku-chan, which is being played by Kaoru Yoniyama. She's a longtime veteran in the Joshi scene. Midnight Player is being played by this young. She's only been in wrestling about 2 years, but this girl named Aoi, like AOI. There's a masked character named Bingo. The rumor is it's being played by Hiroyo Matsumoto. Do you remember her from the Mae Young Classic? She was Lady Godzilla.
Oh,
she had kind of orangish curly hair.
Yeah.
That backdrop flex.
I enjoyed the Mae Young Classic, man. I wish they bring it back, but go ahead.
So yeah, the rumor is she's playing Bingo. So then there's a Ichigo Sayaka, which is being played by Unagi Sayaka, who's from Stardom and a bunch of other shows. She's in Tokyo Joshi Pro first, then Stardom, and she's a freelancer now. Maya Mamushi, who's being played by Maya Yukihi. Saki Bimi, who's being played by Saki. Babyface, who's being portrayed by Ancham. Crush You is being portrayed by Yu. There's a masked girl named Supersonic. No one is sure who that is. There's some rumors of who it could be, but no one's sure.
And the horse they all rode on is being played by Aubrey?
No? Yeah. Rico Blondie is being played by Rico Kayuju.
Okay.
Countess Saori is Saori Ano. Commander Nakajima is Arisa Nakajima. Lady Antoinette is Risa Sarah. Queen of Hearts is Miyuki Takase. And there's a masked character named Stray Cat. No one knows who that is.
Okay.
They got a bunch
And,
of weird stuff with this, James. The
and this
championship.
show is definitely already booked. It's already booked, sold out, and
That's
everything.
what they're saying. They're saying it's sold out. I mean, if you can get into it, hey, go for it.
Where
Get
in New
all
York
the.
is it? Is it in the city?
Where is it? Where is it? Let's see. Let's see. New York. It's in the world premiere event on September 21st at the Capitol in New York City. The
At the
Capitol.
at the Capitol?
Yeah, it says Capitale.
Oh, Capital. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I know what that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw pictures of the venue. It looks beautiful. It doesn't look like something you'd have wrestling in.
No, it's not. It's not. No, it's not.
Makes me think this is being filmed for something.
Yeah.
But listen to some of this stuff. The championship belt is going to be unveiled at this show. It's designed and created by Mark Newson. I don't know who that is. The costumes and merchandise were designed by world famous creative director and fashion designer Olympia Laton. Hats were created by Stephen Jones. Fingernail art. This is a big thing. All the promotional images have the women in this crazy fingernail art. The fingernail art is by social media superstar Mei Kawajiri, aka Nails by Mei. I don't know who this is. Anime and manga art by fast rising artist Sakana Koji. They're like putting all this stuff into it. Like if you watch that trailer, they have a little animated
who's backing all this shit?
No one knows. There's also a rumor that Bull Nakano is involved. She's not in the trailer, but Bull Nakano is supposedly involved in some way.
She's the finance? She's the bank?
No, that's not. They think she's going to be like maybe the boss character.
Oh, okay.
Like maybe she's going to play either a commentator or a boss character, something along those lines.
That's going to be level 12 boss.
Level 12 boss. Well, do you remember her nickname in Japan was Boss of the World when she was
Boss
wrestling?
of the World, yeah. Finish her.
Finish her. Oh, that would be awesome. He was like the Dario Cueto.
Yeah. Man.
So you wanted to know about Payback. Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus in a steel cage match. Didn't they already have a steel cage match?
But not for nothing, but Trish Stratus got fucked up in that ladder match.
Oh, okay.
I mean, she broke her nose again. She got all bruised up. Yeah. And then they gonna put her in another gimmick match. Okay, go ahead.
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest for the Steel City Street Fight, whatever that means. For the
probably false count everywhere. That bullshit.
Rhea Ripley. Oh yeah, go on.
No, because they have to match the AEW blood and guts bullshit. But go ahead.
Oh, James, this is a match for you. Rhea Ripley defends the women's title against Raquel Rodriguez.
With absolutely minimal buildup, yeah.
Rey Mysterio defends the U.S. title against Austin Theory. LA Knight versus The Miz.
It sounds like a SmackDown match.
Seth freaking Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the World Heavyweight Championship.
And no Roman Reigns, right?
No Roman Reigns.
Of course.
So yeah, that's Payback. It's not very exciting on paper, to be honest with you. But
no, it's not. But those are the cards. Not for nothing, Pedro, but those are the shows that end up being really good.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Because the low key, underwhelming shows, and everybody goes out their way to make it really good. Now,
there's another pay-per-view happening this weekend.
Who?
Let's see. Brian Bell said there is an extra story to the tag titles. Rhea said if they don't return with gold, then there will be changes in the Judgment Day. Oh.
Yeah, I heard something about that. Okay.
And Cena is the host of Payback.
Yeah, he was on SmackDown last night, I
So besides the WWE Payback, tomorrow you have AEW having All Out. So last week they had All In, and a week later they have All Out.
Way to market it.
And wait till you see this card, James. Oh my god. Oh, this card. Oh, it's amazing.
There's something else we have to talk about too, but after you run down this card, well, we'll get into it. Go ahead.
Luchasaurus defends the TNT title against Darby Allin. Who apparently Darby Allin fucked up his back at All Out by falling on shit left and right. Miro versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Chris Botchlander defends the TBS title against Ruby Soho. Orange Cassidy defends the international title against Jon Moxley. Kenny Omega versus Takashita. Bullet Club Gold, Austin Gunn, Colton Gunn, Jay White, and Juice Robinson versus FTR and the Young Bucks in a Tomaco's match, 8-man match. Better Than You, Baby defends the Ring of Honor tag team titles against the Dark Order. Samoa Joe defends the Ring of Honor TV title against Shane Taylor. Remember him?
Yeah, Shane Taylor, yeah.
Eddie Kingston and Shibata versus Cesaro and Wheeler Utah in a tag match. So that's the All Out.
Wow, I'm excited. Can't you tell?
It's like a dynamite, isn't it?
Yeah. I was trying to wait until Zeus popped in, but apparently he must be too busy. But I guess we can always touch base as soon as he comes back. But how about our new NWA World Heavyweight Champion?
Oh yeah! Holy shit! They went from James. They went from Fox News guy, a QAnon conspiracy guy.
To Mr. Zero Personality.
We went from Fox News to Alex Jones.
To Alex. Oh my god!
You know what? EC3 needs Alex Jones as his promo guy because
that would be awesome.
Imagine Alex Jones is screaming about like they're making frogs gay. They're putting things in the water, and everyone's like, "What's going on?" And then EC3 is just like nodding his head in the back.
The crocodile in my pool came out wearing a pink tutu. How is that possible? Get him out there destroying America. He came out wearing a pink tutu and drinking a can of Bud Light. What's wrong with this world?
We're not gonna take it. Have you? There's a hilarious video. I haven't watched it in a while, but someone,
I heard that match. I'm sorry, Pedro, but I heard that match was absolutely atrocious.
Oh yeah, did you see the clip of Tyrus running the ropes?
Yeah, that looked horrible.
Oh, it's so bad.
I heard that match was bad.
It has to be worse than anything we can imagine.
And I heard it was a sold out crowd of 17.
Well, that's about as much as that gazebo could hold, James. I mean,
that's true.
They're pushing it to capacity. It was pretty dangerous. It was pretty dangerous.
EC3 should show it with Dixie as his manager. There you go, Brie Brian Bell.
Oh man. Well, I will say this: EC3 is at least athletically an improvement over Tyrus.
I wouldn't go that far, Pedro. I don't know. EC3 can't move.
Really? Well,
what? Even in Impact, even in TNA, he was decent. In NXT, he feel like his muscles stiffened up.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
I'm thinking about when he was in Ring of Honor before they got bought up by AEW. He had one decent match with one of the Briscoe brothers. I think it was Jay. It was with Jay Briscoe. He had a decent match with Jay Briscoe on one of the pay-per-views. And then everything else was garbage, right? Yeah, so I think you're right. He does not move very much.
Yeah, I don't know.
He has like
he doesn't.
Or if it's I don't know if it's a bodybuilder thing because like
he became Scott Steiner. He turned into Scott Steiner. Yeah. He can't move. You
ever see bodybuilders who have like it's like they look almost like a Beefmaster cow? Do you know what a Beefmaster cow is?
What is that?
So in Texas, we don't. Stephanie and I were just talking about this. We don't see them very much anymore. But there, for a long time, there's a staple in Texas. You would see beef master cows, and beef master cows were these abominations. Where it's
Oh,
almost
those
like
are
they
the
have
ones with.
muscles on top of muscles on top of muscles.
Yeah, that they were. Yeah, that they're injected with all kinds of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just really freaky looking. So, you ever see bodybuilders who look kind of like that?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
can barely move. Like they can barely move. They can barely do anything. Like they can barely walk. They can barely sit.
Yeah.
They have problems like obese people have in terms of being able to fit in clothes and fit
Yeah.
in chairs and things like that. And one of the weird things with some of the bodybuilders, some of them aren't even that physically strong, which
No.
is weird, right? Because you're
Yeah.
like, oh, they got all these muscles, but then they're not actually that physically strong.
Yeah.
That stuff's always surprising, right? But
that's EC3.
yeah,
He's all.
making me
That's
realize.
EC3. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
EC3. He's all show and no go. You know. I mean, he can't move. He just can't. You know, like. You know, he's like Scott Steiner. You know. Horrible.
Oh, hey, rest in peace to Jimmy Buffett. He passed away.
Yeah, he passed away. Yeah. Yeah.
Some English singer passed away, but I don't know her. She was like 21 years old. I don't know who she is.
How about Bray Wyatt passing away of a heart attack?
Oh yeah. We didn't talk about this because we didn't do the show and stuff. Yeah, a bunch of people. Terry Funk. Last week, Terry Funk died, and then Bray Wyatt died like the next day or whatever.
Of a heart attack too. I'm like, oh my god, that's all I need to hear. Good job.
Yeah,
and you know, you would think, you know, I mean, wow, man.
Yeah, it's wild. They said, but they said he had his heart issues got exacerbated by COVID earlier.
COVID, yeah. It's you know, it's sad. Well, I mean, you know, like at least you got the Wyatt family reuniting up in heaven. So, and then I'm sure Terry Funk's trying to take him out. So there you go. That's the main event for Jesus' WrestleMania up in heaven.
I'm trying to picture, James. I'm trying to picture like who we have here. We have this evil cult leader gimmick in heaven. Like wait, what?
Yeah, but he's dressed in white, so it works.
He's dressed in white. Everyone's dressed in white now. That's hilarious.
Yep, and then you have Terry Funk coming to the rescue. So it's all good.
Which version of Terry Funk now?
No, I don't know.
Mind or?
I mean, you want to do FMW Punk or you want to do WCW kick Ric Flair's ass? I mean, you know, that version Funk.
1970s world champion Funk or
1970s or
wrestling Funk
or you can do WWF Chainsaw Charlie Funk.
Is it crazy ECW?
ECW? That's the belt that I have.
Right. See, that's when
you
need to be on camera, like, this is the belt I have. Listen here.
That's the Terry Funk belt. Yeah, I got that. That's the ECW belt I got.
That's when you should cut a promo. You should be like, Pedro, you shut your mouth.
I'm from the Double Cross Ranch in Texas via Orlando by New York. Fucking hanging out with what? Beef eater cows? Is that what's going? Beef eaters?
Beef masters.
Beef masters. I think they're beef eaters. Like, no, it's not Jim.
No, they're feeding the cow. No, that would cause problems if you feed the cows. I
mean. Yeah. Oh my god, that's.
Isn't that how mad? No, that's not how mad cow disease gets going, is it?
I don't know. Yeah, but that payback card doesn't look. It doesn't sound very interesting. It sounds rather underwhelming. But I found that those WWE type of underwhelming shows end up being the best ones.
Right.
Yeah. No, I mean, look at the show in Cardiff. It wasn't touted as going to be a big show. And it was just like it had an okay lineup, but it wasn't anything spectacular. But it turned out to be a hell of a show, you know.
The reason I brought up like Clash at the Castle was because it was a show in the Greater United Kingdom, right? It's in Cardiff.
Yeah.
And so I was comparing the WWE show from the United Kingdom with AEW's show in the United Kingdom. And like WWE show, everyone left talking about the show, talking about
The
matches,
show, yeah.
about the show, talking of, you know, the, like I said, the whole people were debating for a long time until the stuff with Sami Zayn about should they or shouldn't they have pulled the trigger on Drew McIntyre at Clash in the Castle, like to have taken the belt off of Roman Reigns and stuff like that. And coming off this show, no one's talking about, you know, what happens next with the Team Bebe, what happens next with this. They're talking about CM Punk and blah blah blah, you know.
Oh, you said you saw the pre-show, right?
I did see the pre-show. Yes, those two matches.
How did the production look?
You know,
that's a big show. You would hope that that AEW stepped up with some quality production.
It looked like an AEW show. I mean, I'm being honest. It's in a huge place. There's a massive crowd, but the production didn't really go anywhere next level, in my opinion.
Really? Whole hum entrances, all that bullshit, same thing.
Yeah, I mean, they try to go a little more all out on the entrances, right? Like I think MJF came out on a little throne thing. I think being carried.
Oh, he did? Really?
I think someone came out that way. They paid a lot of money for some of the music that was used. I mean, like they paid for Queen.
We
Will Rock You for Saraya, which. So that one was kind of weird because she's never used that song. First off, like anywhere as far as I know, she's never used that song as her entrance. She came out with all her family, and her family is a very controversial group of people in England. Okay,
yeah,
like some of her siblings and stuff have been tied to Me Too stuff. Both her parents have been tied to all kinds of weird stuff through the years. Like they're not like this really beloved wrestling family in England, and then they're being presented as such, like on the moment. And also Emi Sakura, she wasn't on the show, right? And I'm not saying she should have been on the show, but I'm saying she wasn't on the show, but she's the one who has all this Queen stuff tied to her gimmick, right?
Yeah.
She's dressed like Freddie Mercury, then she's dressing like a queen. She's always doing this whole thing with the "We Will Rock You" before stuff. So everyone leading into the show, people were wanting her to be on the show so they could use that song. And then she's not on the show, but they still use the song for Paige. It was kind of weird. I mean, to me, it's weird. I don't know, but.
No, I agree. It does. It makes sense. I mean, like if you're gonna have one character, and you're gonna consistently use a certain theme with that character, and then you give the characters who could be like the potentially biggest entrance song, and use it for somebody else in a totally throw off fashion, it sucks. Because it doesn't make sense.
Also, why doesn't Paige like have a rock star like husband or something?
Yeah.
Why did they not use? Oh yeah, he's full of controversy too.
I think Paige's family is like the British version of The Hills Have Eyes, right? Something like that.
The Hills Have Eyes.
There's like a bunch of mutant kidnapping cannibalistic.
They got her mom involved in the match a little bit because they had.
No! Isn't she like 75 years old, still throwing drop kicks?
No, she's not that old. I mean,
no. Yeah, I mean that's true because she did have Paige when she was 6. So yeah.
Let me see how old her mom is.
I think her mom was in 3rd grade when she gave birth to Paige.
Her mom is 51 years old.
Oh, so she's not old.
Well, I mean, she's around like y'all's age, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah. So how old is Paige? Paige is 31. So she was like 20 when she had
20,
Paige.
Right.
Brian Bell said there's a lot of rumors that Cena is going to be around for the next few months. And
Well, he's wrestling in India.
Oh yeah.
He's going to wrestle in India, but Brian Bell said that that's he hosting Payback tonight, Brian. Yeah, Cena is the host of Payback. Yeah, so he might be around for a bit. Maybe he has a break in his movie schedule.
Well, now
him in his ball spot.
There was some controversy about him appearing in the WWE. Have y'all heard this?
Who appeared in WWE?
Cena. About
Why?
Cena, because the whole you know how they have the writer's strike going on,
right?
Well, the SAG is trying to be in union with the writer's strike, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there was some when Cena was announced for these shows. I saw some people were making a stink about it, saying like, "This doesn't look very good for someone in the SAG to be appearing on a television show when we're in union supporting our writers." And some people were like, "Well, it doesn't, the SAG doesn't, really count wrestling and blah blah blah."
I thought he was there because he's promoting a new movie. The Vacation Friends 2 or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh, I didn't hear about this movie.
Yeah. So I thought it was because of that, but like I found out that he's wrestling in India, and B. Brian Bell says he's going to be host of Payback tonight. So apparently something's going on because Cena's usually in a one-off.
Yeah. Now, India, do you remember when India was just insane for wrestling a few years ago? Like they were crazy for Impact or TNA or whatever you want to call it. And
I think it was Impact that really started that ball rolling, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, they were crazy. Like Great Khali was like a god over there because he won the title in the WWE.
Not Jinder Mahal.
Yeah. Brian Bell said, Cena said he was going to be around for a few months because he does not have much time left and is his way to say thank you last night.
That's what he said? Okay. How about that? I mean, I'm sure he still looks tremendous, Well,
I mean, what I was going to say about India, if you really want to pop a giant crowd, why doesn't someone do a stadium show in India? Probably get a record attendance that way.
Well, they do. Doesn't WWF do the stadium show out there?
Do they?
Yeah, over in Ritter.
They might do a radio show.
It's a huge outdoor stadium. Like, it's like Texas Stadium. Like there's a big hole in the center.
Okay. A big hole in the center.
Yeah,
that's one way to describe a stadium.
B. Brian Blair. How did John Cena look? Still looking phenomenal shape? You trying to cover the ball spot, or did he just say "fuck it"? I'm mean. That's it. Did he get involved in anything last night? Like, did he F you somebody? Oh no, I'm sorry. AA, attitude adjustment. My bad. What is it? I mean, I'm gonna watch.
You never give me the FU, would you, Cena?
I give you the AA.
Brian Bell said he looked good. He brought his tag partner with him as usual, the bald spot.
Good job. Oh, okay.
He got into it
with Jimmy Uso.
Said the wrong Uso quit.
Nice. Good job. Nice. Okay, so maybe they're setting something up for tonight then. I mean, I'm sure Cena could still go. I mean, he was always in pretty decent shape,
Oh yeah.
Because he doesn't get,
that match he had with Austin Theory was fine at WrestleMania. It wasn't anything great, but it was.
It wasn't anything great, but it was okay. Right? Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, it was fine.
I mean, it's Cena, so you're not going to get anything other than. I mean, it's fucking Cena.
Well, but
you accept it for what he is. Yeah, but Pedro. If you accept it for what it is, then
we should
it's
not.
Fucking Cena.
I feel like he gets a little bit of a bad rap. Like we shouldn't be ignoring this man had a number of good matches in his career. Like the match with Umaga, that was a heck of a match.
Wow,
Do you remember?
Umaga.
Do you remember that I Quit match or whatever from Rumble? I think it was from Royal Rumble.
I don't remember I don't remember watching the match, but I do remember the match. Yeah.
I remember that was really good. I remember he's one of the few people who ever got a decent match out of the Great Khali. I mean that kind of says a lot if you can get a decent match out of the Great Khali.
I thought he and Orton had good matches.
Oh yeah. And there's that match with the Money in the Bank match with CM Punk, of course. That was
that was good. Actually, I give it to Cena because you know what? Because he can take a beating because Brock Lesnar beat the shit out of him.
Oh yeah. Brock Lesnar has whooped him a number of times.
Yeah. You know. So I mean, you know, but again, it's Cena, so your expectations are not high, and he's very one-dimensional. This is who I am. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that. I got 5 moves, and here it is. The down and dirty. How you love it or you hate it, but I'm not changing it. It's the same thing with a lot of people today. You know, MJF is like that. He's Cena. You don't have high expectations, but I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that. Here are my 5 moves. Here it is. And he's always been like that. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Cena. No, that's why everybody's making a big deal out of LA Knight, right? LA Knight's always been LA Knight. He's always been Eli Drake. He's been cutting the same promo for 20 fucking years.
Hey, speaking about LA Knight, I have a nephew. He went to watch Raw in Houston pretty recently in the last month or two. They did a Raw in Houston. He went there, and he loves LA Knight. He has him as his Facebook profile picture and all this stuff right now. I was like, well, LA Knight. When I see LA Knight getting over with a nephew, I'm like, oh, okay, this guy must be over. He must be way over. So,
no, he's huge. Yeah, he's real over. But everybody's like, oh, he's ripping off he's been doing the same shit for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Remember him in NWA Power?
Yeah.
He was doing the same thing. He was doing the exact same thing. Yeah. Exact same thing. Oh, yeah, Brie Blind Bell. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You read it.
Brie Blind Bell. I agree. If you want to inject some life into the bloodline and Roman till Mania, Cena does it. Yeah, the fans will eat it up. I'm not going to lie to you. They will. Because all you need to do is have Cena cut a promo on Roman Reigns, have Roman Reigns stutter, and it's a wrap.
Hey, do you remember when they did SummerSlam? People were like, is this where it's going to end? Like, there's a ton of thing behind it. People were like, oh my God, is this where it's going to end? Is this where it's going to end?
EC3 and Alex Jones.
Well, when you were saying you give him the down and dirty with Cena, I was like, Kenny, how can we get the stars from Meltzer?
And so, my God,
we give him the down and dirty.
Fucking Meltzer.
He unloaded a ton of ratings on.
Let me guess. Adam Cole, MJF got 11.5 stars.
No, let me find it. I know I showed it to someone. Let me find it. Okay.
You want to speak of disappointments? How about Teddy Hart? That's another one.
MJF versus Adam Cole. He gave 4.5 stars. The acclaimed versus House of Black, 2.5 stars. Will Ospreay versus Chris Jericho, 4.75 stars. So basically a 5-star match. Darby and Sting versus Swerve and Christian. He gave 4.25 stars. He gave the women's 4-way a 2.75 stars. He gave the Stadium Stampede match 4.5 stars. He gave FTR versus the Young Bucks 4.75 stars. So basically a 5-star match. He gave Golden Elite versus Takashita and BC Gold 4.5 stars. CM Punk and Samoa Joe 3.5 stars. Hook and Jack Perry, which I told you was just a bunch of nothing. He gave 3.25 stars. MJF and Cole versus Aussie Open, he gave 2.75 stars. So there you go.
How long was that show, Pedro?
How long was it? It had to be in the 4 or 5 hour range, right?
Yeah.
I imagine. I mean, I didn't watch it.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
just
right.
saw
I'm
the
sorry.
pre-show.
Yeah.
The pre-show was like 2 hours or so, I think.
Miz
then,
is the gateway feud to the main event. You know what? Everybody shits on the Miz. I love the Miz. He's fucking awesome. He's
the Miz
great,
is
man.
great at what he does.
He's better than he's better than I would say 3/4 of the roster. He cuts a better promo. He's so passionate. He can still go, and he's never hurt.
Yeah,
He's
he's
never
safe
hurt.
in the ring. He's safe in the ring, right?
Yeah, and come on, he's been doing this shit for 20 years now, right?
Look, let's get something. Let's get something straight, and let's get something out of the way.
Okay, Pedro.
We in-ring stuff is not going to be good anymore. Okay,
Nobody's gonna have fucking no more Bret the
we're not
Hart.
getting.
Right.
We're not getting any of the stuff we used to get. Not even you remember even when stuff was degrading here, we at least still had good stuff from Japan or Mexico we could maybe find.
Right.
Now we're not getting good stuff anywhere.
Yeah, because New Japan's been eating one too.
Yeah, and I mean Stardom just turned into like they want to be just appeal to Meltzer and AEW. Like everything has just gone bad. There are some Joshi promotions, they still do solid stuff, but even they're not going all out anymore. Everyone, it's just the quality. No one has incentive to do stuff anymore because the reality right now is it's just product.
Right.
We are in a specific time period of wrestling where the least effort you put into it, and you make the most money almost. Like you don't have to think about it. It doesn't have to be good, doesn't have to be bad. You just go do some bullshit. Like it doesn't have to make sense logically or anything. You just do some bullshit. The people will praise it. The fans will eat it up, talk about it as if it's the best thing ever, even though it's terrible. And then your company makes record profits. Like the most money the business has ever made ever is happening right now. And it's like the worst possible wrestling. So we're not going to get like good wrestling anymore. Okay. We're just not going to get it anymore. We need to almost put it out of our head. You have to almost look at it differently, which y'all have been trying to get me to see for a while, but you just have to look at it differently. It's just something else. It's not wrestling really. It's this other thing.
Yeah, it's not Flair Steamboat. No.
So in that thing, like the Miz is amazing, right? He doesn't get hurt. Which how many people are getting hurt all the time? So the Miz isn't getting hurt. He's not hurting other people, and he's good for your PR stuff. You can put him to go do promotion on this show, on TV, on radio, on this or that.
Live. He can get serious, and he can do the slapstick.
Yeah, he can do. Yeah, you're right. He can do all that. Think about the stuff with him and Daniels. A few years ago.
That shit was good.
He can do like anything. CM Punk was super pissed that like Miz had like 1 or 2 WrestleMania main events. And he was like, well, this is why he's
he's so versatile. So he's good. I like the Miz, man. The Miz is fucking great.
Think about how much bullshit the Miz had to eat going into this business.
A lot.
Reality television.
Yeah, he took a lot of shit from Undertaker too.
Yeah, from everyone. I imagine he probably got hazed so bad. Probably write an autobiography one day that'll just be like a horror novel or something. And it'll be like, but he wouldn't do that though, because you can tell he loves it or whatever. So he's not going to do that.
You can see him protecting the business. You know what I'm saying? But it's great. So people, I don't know, man. You just people are up in arms about LA Knight, and I say why? He's been doing the same thing for 20 years. You're just doing it here instead of doing it there. And here he's got the machine behind him. That's the only difference. You got the Miz. He's amazing. You're wasting Raquel Gonzalez. I mean, wake up. Come on.
I agree, James. They need to have her out there in like thong bikinis and stuff wrestling.
I'm saying, do
They're
so.
totally wasting her.
No, but put her back. No, but put her back. She's a big girl. Use that. Use that, man. You can't be having little girls beat her up. And she's got to be the monster baby face. Just beat the shit out of all the heels and beat the shit out of the heel men. Do exactly what Rhea Ripley's doing, but for the baby faces.
Yeah. I really think Rhea, Raquel, and Piper Niven, they should be building up all three
Piper
women.
Niven would be awesome. She could be like an awesome Kong, the type of fucking person. Who'll just whip through everybody.
That's the thing. Like, you're going to get, like, all the things they wanted Nia Jax to be.
Right.
You get all that with Piper Niven, except she's like a much better worker, right?
Hell, I'll tell what? Hey, she's way better worker than Nia.
Yeah, she's
not
way
even
better
close.
Like,
not even close.
And it's because she had all that experience in England and the UK scene and Europe. She had all that experience in Stardom. She has all this experience before she got to the NXT UK and stuff. Like, she had all this experience. And she's just a solid worker. You build up all three women, and you just let them have Kaiju rivalry with each other. Like,
that's it.
That's what you do. What you do. In a way, you can almost, and Bianca Belair, she's not Kaiju size, right? But she's Kaiju strength.
Yeah.
She's like freaky Jeff Cobb.
She could be a Jaguar.
So, I mean, it's weird. You could be I'm just saying, you could just be building up these massive things there.
Because look what they do with Io Shirai. She's the women's champion, and they have her in what, mixed tag matches, and fucking tag matches, and being the second to Bailey. And I don't want to hear this shit about language, because they put the strap on Asuka, and Asuka rolled with it.
Well, okay, now do you remember when the three of them appeared in Lucha Underground? When Io, Mayu, and Kairi appeared in Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
So when they appeared in Lucha Underground, I remember Mil Machetes and some of the others were like, these are the best women's wrestlers on the planet. And I said, no, they're not. And people were like, no, I got all this pushback on it. But the reason why I said that stuff was, one, because they weren't the best women's wrestlers on the planet.
Even though Mayu Watami's your girl, but go ahead.
No, but like Meiko Satomura was still at the height of her powers at that time, right? And also, there are people who have the overall game down better. So one thing Io Shirai never had until she got to NXT, or after a while in NXT, was charisma. In Japan, her whole deal was being very stoic. She was bitchy and stoic. There was no real character. Like, her character was just like, I'm the best, and do like the Queen's Quest pose. That was like her. She had no character. People were just like, people were amazed by her athleticism, and people were amazed because she was hot or whatever, because she did a lot of, being in racy pectorials and stuff, the gravure kind of stuff. So people were just, like, whoa, she's so beautiful, and she's so athletic. She is kind of freaky athletic, yes. But she wasn't like, I always thought Kairi was better than her, because Kairi had character. Kairi was good at selling. Kairi was good from her whole.
Kairi has great facial expressions too.
Well, yeah, she was good from working from underneath. It was part of her character. Like, she would always work from underneath. She'd put stuff over. She'd make everything a struggle people can get into, and she just had a lot of charisma she could put into things. She had like a story. Like, she was always building an overarching story in her career in Stardom. There's always this big story, and things added a chapter to her overall story. She had this before going into NXT, and they didn't really do a lot of it in the WWE, but you can still see she had a lot of charisma throughout the whole deal. She always had that. Io Shirai didn't have this. She got it some in NXT, especially when she got into the all black look. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
She got more charisma going, but she's never had a ton of charisma. Like that has never been her thing. So you can't compare her to Kana. Kana had tons of
Yeah, she
charisma.
does. Yeah.
And Kana had like kind of an overall game. She could do comedy. She could do
Mm-hmm.
like kind of catch wrestling stuff. She could work stiff. There's all these things she could do before she ever got to NXT. Before she ever came to the United States, she was already like a complete package. Before she ever came, we all also were following the Joshi scene. We knew she was going to the WWE because like almost 2 years before she did, because it just was like she is being, you could just see she was building up herself to go to be this thing. She
Right.
was, so you can't compare Io to Kana because they're too different. They're just too different. And Kana in
I
the charisma,
understand that, Pedro, and
is
I get exactly what you're saying. Yeah, but you're devaluing your women's champion by just having her do nothing.
right. Yeah.
So have her at least try. Try. Give me E for effort. Try. I understand she's not Khan. I understand that nobody's Oscar. I get that. But try. Put her in a storyline with someone, not just as Bailey's backup. Do
Well,
something with her.
and again, Io does have charisma now. Like she has
Right.
charisma. It may not be to the level of Asuka, but she has her own like kind of charisma. You saw her on NXT.
Yeah.
You remember when they had her cutting promos in Japanese with
Yeah.
subtitles?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's weird. Some of this stuff you don't even have to think about it, James. You don't even have to think about it. Like some stuff just speaks for itself. She can't speak English well. Just have her cut a promo in Japanese, a pre-taped one. Like
Right.
just
That's
throw it
all.
on the thing. Have her
Yeah.
just have her just say nothing and just do mysterious stuff. Like there's all
I
kind
mean,
of do.
the only thing I can take a stab at what they're doing is they're holding off on EO wrestling in the ring because they want to at obviously at 100%, and they're holding her off into any major storyline is because they're waiting for Kari.
Oh yeah, that could be.
You know,
Or she's a transitional for someone else.
right, right.
I mean, I think that's a very real possibility. She's going to be a transitional to someone else. I don't know who. I don't know what the big thing
Don't say
is.
Charlotte again, because nobody wants to see Charlotte with the belt. Much as I love Charlotte, I don't want to see her with the belt.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say what. I don't know. I don't know what the big thing is going to be. So I have no idea.
I think that they're saving it for Kari.
Mm.
Because they're not going to put Kari up against Rhea Ripley because that makes no sense. Because you're going to have this big build up of Kari saying going back to what? Just a job to fucking Rhea? So it has to be Io. Because is it Kari coming back, what? For Survivor Series? Something like that?
Well, there's been some people say November, some people say January. She has some dates to finish in September in Japan.
Okay.
Oh, at least through September, she has some dates to finish.
Okay. So then, if not, then that means it's quite possible that they hold her off until the Royal Rumble and she wins the Rumble.
I don't think they're going to go that all in on Kairi Hojo.
No,
I don't think so. I just can't. I can't see them going that all in on her. I like Kairi, but like it's because I've seen her, right? Yeah, he made some lunch. Still no Zeus. Refused to mark out until Zeus is here. We don't know if Zeus is going to show up. We're going to have to close.
It was supposed to be like 20 minutes, Brian, and I don't know. I guess he's waving his magic wand.
He's waving his magic wand.
The Zeus says, "Do this, crack, crack it down. Do that, crack, crack, crack it down."
Oh, I thought you were talking about some of the tools in like the what's it called in the Photoshop and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a
that's what I
magic
meant,
wand tool,
actually.
so,
Yeah.
I was
That's what I meant, but I figured I'd throw a little sound effect behind it.
Oh, okay. That would be funny. Imagine when Zeus is doing his at work, everything he does, he clicks the mouse. He's like, "Krakow."
He said, "I refuse to mark out, so Zeus is back." Yeah, I hear you, brother. Hell yeah.
Yeah, you may be let down because I know James has to take care of some meds in a bit, and
Yeah, Zeus got about 15 minutes.
we've got forest fires. We've got
yeah, no, Pedro's hanging in the middle of a forest fire waiting for Zeus and shit. He's fucking trying not to burn, but no.
we
Let's
got
all
all
wait
kind
on
of things
Zeus.
going on.
I'm gonna miss my hot shot. Pedro's gonna get burnt to a crisp, all because we're waiting on fucking Zeus. What the hell's going on around here?
I want podcast refuses to end until Zeus shows. I have to start singing at the end, like James has to leave. It's just me singing until Zeus shows up.
Fucking Zeus.
I'll be like, man. Hey, I'll tell you something about this. We have this huge forest fire going on down the road a piece. Where we should be okay here, I think.
I'm so glad you and everybody's safe. So that's good.
But like all that smoke and stuff, because
that's no good for you guys, man.
Yeah, like my I did the stream last night and all that stuff, but like my voice is kind of all fucked up.
Did you? Well, please tell me you were smart enough to leave all your windows closed and everything closed.
Oh yeah,
and you wasn't outside.
Yeah, I all that's we never leave the windows open anyways, just because it's like the surface of the sun temperatures in Texas. Like you're like, oh yeah, let's make it hotter. Let's open the window.
Yeah, it's like 462 degrees out today. Yeah.
Well, right now it's only 93 degrees, which is
only yeah, only.
James, we've had like temperatures like just regularly in like 108 to 100.
I know, yeah.
So, I mean,
trust me, I know here too. It's been 103, 105, 104, 101, 108. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's been crazy. Here it's been like, you could fucking melt.
James, we got to get to the real talk. What was the weather like in the Bahamas?
Oh my God. Warm and breezy. Okay? Warm and breezy. Just like Lux's mom. Warm and breezy.
Holy shit.
It was so nice, man. It was so nice, I mean, I had to protect my scars and shit like that. So I didn't care. I was walking around shirtless. I didn't give a shit. It was nice. It was gorgeous outside. I was drinking Blue Hawaiian, Stellas, Sapporos. It was fantastic. I gained like 375 pounds. It was awesome. It was great.
375 pounds.
I was eating midnight pizzas. It was fun. I had a cheeseburger and mimosa for breakfast. No, because you can go down because
Oh, it's just pizza at midnight. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought you're just like a kind of a flavor of pizza. I was like, what?
No, they had a pizza shop open in the ship. It stays open like 4 a.m. And we were there every day at midnight on the spot at midnight getting our 4 slices. So, I had a cheeseburger with mimosa for breakfast one day. I didn't care. I was like, do I want blueberry pancakes or do I want a cheeseburger? Fucking grill me a fresh cheeseburger and a mimosa while I wait. I mean, it was awesome, because I prepaid in advance for the deluxe drink package, so that includes everything except Starbucks. So like any kind of coffee they were serving, any kind of water, soda, juice, any kind of liquid, all the alcohol I could drink, top shelf, everything. So I didn't have to take out anything. I didn't have to sign for anything. I just gave them my name and they already had it. So the pay for the convenience of that alone is worth the money. Because especially when you're in a bathing suit, you don't want to fumble with key cards or fucking credit cards or anything like that. You just James 8683. Thank you, Mr. Sarno. Blow me now. Where's my fucking drink? It was like that. It was awesome. So it was great, man. I had a fantastic time. I had a great time. I sat one day. I spent the entire day from about 9:30 in the morning to about I would say quarter after 5 in the hot tub. Didn't move.
Oh wow.
All I did was drink and sit in the hot tub. I took pictures with girls I didn't know. They were like,
Wow. James the real super famous.
"Can you take a picture for us? Sure, I'll take the picture for you." And like, "Oh, do you want to be in the picture with us now?" Sure. You have your phone? Nah, that's my phone in the room. Fuck that. Use your phone. I'm taking pictures of people I didn't know. I didn't care. I was like, "Hi, I'm Bob. Hey, I'm Jill. Take my wife. Okay, let's do this." It was like crazy. Everybody's over friendly. I have to say this about the Royal Caribbean staff: amazing. They are completely amazing. They go out of their way for you. It was. I mean, I've never been treated like. I mean, I was treated like I was a kid. Okay, but there's a flip side to that coin. This ship, that Independence, or cruise ships in general, are not made for people with congestive heart failure.
Because they're so big, or
They're so big, you walk everywhere, and I had to take time outs. I had to literally stop walking and sit down. I had to take like a 5-minute time out. Luckily for me, every time I took a time out, it was right out of the bar. So I was hydrated quickly. But yeah, it was great. I had a great time. I had a great time, man. I'm already talking about going on the 7-day one now.
is your Instagram public or private? I can't remember.
No, it's private.
Oh, okay. I was gonna throw the link to the post out there for people so they can see the pictures of you. And I'm looking at them right now.
Oh yeah. It was cool. It was all right. I had to get dressed up for the captain's dinner, so I had to throw on one of my suits because
If we were on the OBS, I could show it to everyone, but I can't do that on StreamYard.
No, I had a great time, man. The only difference is the 4 days too short because I felt like I just unpacked and like early in the morning I'm packing again,
Right.
And it was like too much for me because I need to slow it down in places like that. But you kind of like, let's go here, let's do this show, let's do that show. I saw comedians, I saw stand-up comedians. I saw a Jeff Dunham stunt double, but he was better than Jeff Dunham. I mean, this guy pulled out puppets out of his ass and he's talking shit. It was great. Yeah. I won the Royal Caribbean gold chain for being the first. I won the Royal Caribbean first place gold chain for being in first place for the 1970s disco trivia contest.
Whoa!
I got all 25 songs and artists out of 25 songs and artists. So I had the big gold chain. Run DMC.
Wow!
Because it has the Royal Caribbean logo on it. So they took the pictures. I was part of their media presentation for the weekend because I won. Yeah. I had to cut a promo, put over Royal Caribbean. This place is great, It was fun. I had a good time, man. I had a good time, It was all right. It's expensive, but to me, it's worth the money. It's not something I would do all the time because it's not cheap.
Cheap. Brian Bell says 70s trivia champ. No wonder chicks wanted photos. Yeah, exactly. He had the gold chain. Of course, they wanted him in their photos.
Woo! I was Dirk Diggler. No, it was brutal. No, it was just because I'm in the hot tub by myself. But people want take a picture for us. Sure. Would you mind being in the picture with us? Sure.
Did you have James? Full disclosure: did you have the chain on while you were in the hot tub?
No. It would probably turn green anyway.
Oh, the plating comes off. You're like,
I don't want to mess up their Royal Caribbean logo. Now, I was thinking about making it into a championship belt, but I think that would have been too much.
it'll look better than the most title belts right now.
But I had a great time, man. I had a great time. I was hanging out with people that I haven't seen in a long time. Family members I barely talk to here and there, only in holidays. And like I had this one running joke where I told all the people I was with, I said, "Look, I could wait. I could see you for free every Thanksgiving. Why am I paying money to see you earlier?" So they started laughing. So it was good, It was good, everybody was concerned because they all about the surgery and so like I had to explain to everybody what's next and what's possible but everybody was like, "Listen, man, you have a good time." I said, "Listen, I brought the deluxe drink package. I'm gonna have a good time." I was drinking. It was awesome. I had lime green Diet Coke.
Oh wow, you got kicked off for a moment.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, but no, you're back on, but your
I'm back
picture
on. Brutal.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It was weird.
They said no more cruise talk. It's supposed to be about Markout Mania.
What is there? There's not much left to talk about. I mean,
I know. But other than that, I had a great time.
Maybe it was Zeus. Maybe Zeus caught the wind of what we were doing earlier in the episode.
Zeus said, "Hold on, I'm talking about EC3. Oh, I'm just talking about a boat. Get the fuck out of here. I'm out."
I can't. We need a reaction thing of just Zeus reacting to this episode of the show without him.
Yeah,
he's gonna be like, "What the fuck are they saying?"
He was like, "I missed the AEW porn." James Chevy Crabs, Cry Me a River. There you go. B. Brian Bell, good job.
Kenny's like, "Here comes the P trigger." Or the D trigger. The D trigger.
The D trigger, yeah. That was brutal. I have low expectations for Payback tonight, but I'm gonna watch it, because I'm sure I'll be surprised with a match or two will surprise me,
Yeah, give it.
And plus, like all joking aside, I'm interested. I'm really interested, in how they book this Rhea Ripley Brazil Gonzalez match, because I want to see how they book this thing.
Right. Yeah.
Is it going to set up to a major feud, or is this going to be like a one-off?
Yeah, Brian Bell, I almost made that joke. I almost said Ibushi was going to stagger in the way of the D trigger.
Kota Ibushi.
This episode has been canceled. I started watching. Real quick before we go away, I just want to say I started watching. What was it? I started watching a show on Netflix. I only got to see the first episode because my life is crazy, so I don't get to see stuff very much. But I saw the first episode of Mask Girl, the South Korean show. That thing is intense. I've
been watching Telemarketers on HBO Max.
Oh
man, you want to talk about?
Stephanie and I saw the trailer for that. We saw the trailer for that. We haven't seen it though.
You always picture the people who call your house, say, "Hi, I represent the Police Athletic League," and said, at least be sitting in a desk wearing like a polo shirt. This motherfucker was sitting at a desk sniffing lines with a fucking tequila shot next to him as he's talking to somebody.
Oh dang!
Yeah, so it's a wild show. It's a wild show. So. Yeah, I've been watching Telemarketers. It's crazy. Crackheads and whores and pimps. I'm dead serious.
Yeah, I believe from the trailer. I believe you. I totally believe you because we saw the trailer.
There were all these lowlifes that nobody else will hire because they either have records or they just came out of prison or they had no job experience. But like nobody else will hire. But they trained them to do this, and they're literally crackheads, whores, and pimps. And they were having sex on lunch breaks, and they were getting drunk, and it all flew because the guy says that as long as you make money, you do what you got to do to quote unquote decompress from the stresses of the job.
Sounds like the AEW roster.
I can't take anyone. I can't take anyone $1,000. I need someone to poke me in the ass.
Oh God.
Drop.
One,
Hold
two.
on, hold on, Pedro. What was that shit from Young Frankenstein?
Yeah.
From
Oh my God. Well,
one,
unfortunately,
two, three.
unfortunately, Brian Bell, we're gonna have to pull the plug on this episode.
Yeah, it went off the rails without without the God of Thunder.
Zeus King Dark, we you were very missed in this episode.
It was not good. This was not good. Ooh, Alex
This is what
Jones and
happens.
EC3.
Yeah. AEW porn, Alex Jones, all kind of stuff in this episode.
Yeah, fun times.
Fun times. So James, when does your New York thing start? Does it start next week or?
I'll be I'll be able to do the show next week. I'll be leaving the 12th for 2 weeks.
Okay.
But I think one of the Saturdays when I'm in New York, I think I'll be able to do the show.
Oh.
But but I will live on location.
Oh.
But I would definitely let you know.
All right. You're leaving on my birthday. That's awesome.
Oh, September 12th. That's right. Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
I'm leaving on a jet plane. It's Pedro's birthday again today. Oh, I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, hey, that was pretty good. That's pretty good. So hey, God willing, we'll see everyone next week. Hopefully Zeus will be with us next week. We'll see.
How come I hear the X-Men theme music playing in the background right now? Because he's probably teaching these kids. Pre-Brian Blow says, Zeus, the world needs you.
Yeah, the world needs you.
I need to recover from this episode. Yeah, I'm sorry, Brian.
Yeah.
My bad, brother.
Yeah, we didn't mean to put like horrible images in your head, like.
I mean, like Audrey alone's gonna have to take a week to decompress from.
One,
three.
Y'all getting some grease, kind of singing.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, summer night.
Tell me more. Can she count to 3 right?
Tell me more. Did she pose during your fight? I was the AEW match. Okay.
Magic hands waving that fast.
I had to strike a pose dramatically.
Count to 3 is not easy for me.
Oh man.
What is wrong with us? Oh my God!
Adios,
Sorry, Brian. Brian's like, what the fuck?
Everyone, take care. We'll see y'all next week.
Later, peace. Thanks to B. Brian Blair for putting up with us.